What's up, A to Z Sports Live on a Wednesday. I almost forgot what day it was there, Ryan, but it is Wednesday here, the last week of the official offseason, kinda. I don't know if people count the offseason ending when training camp starts or if the offseason doesn't end until the regular season begins. Or I don't know, maybe I'll let you think on this. I'll ask you after we officially open the show. When does the offseason actually end? That is something you can ponder as we get going here live on the show. But going to have a conversation that we have to have because the clock is ticking. The Titans report to training camp in less than 1 week. They will be on the practice field for the first practice in exactly 1 week from today. And Titans second-round pick, Femi Oladejo, still has not signed his contract. Now, I think there's a quote-unquote fair reason for why he hasn't signed his contract, but it still is the case, right? And so how long will it take for his contract to be signed? And they trend around the NFL with second-round picks that they're not signing their contracts. They're trying to get as much money guaranteed as possible because of one team in particular that just ruined it for everybody. So how much blame do we give the Houston Texans for this situation? But Femi Oladejo is going to be an important player when it comes to the Titans season this year with what he's got, his position, his talent, his skill set, and what the Titans are missing. So we'll discuss that. Ryan, you're back from your little vacation last week. Happy anniversary to you and your wife, as Easton was throwing shade at your wife last week. Thank you. Yes, yep. Appreciate that. But gonna have a fun show today. Curious about your perspective on this one as well, because you have your eye around the league with other second-round picks that are going unsigned. Then we'll do sports trivia. We'll see how bad we can fail this morning. But Ryan, welcome in. Let's get it rocking and rolling.
Excited for it, man. I think it's a really interesting conversation. We are literally dealing with something that we have never seen in the NFL history, right? With this second round holdout of sorts, right? So I'm excited to dig into not only Femi's situation, but just the entire situation around the NFL, because it is, I mean, we are breaking ground right now in the first ever conversation around this topic. So before we get into going though, folks, this morning, don't forget to share the show. If you're watching live on Facebook, hit that share button. It is on the bottom right-hand corner. Get it out on your feed. If you're watching us live on YouTube, take that YouTube link, send it to a friend in your life or just one of your favorite group chats. Could be an enemy, doesn't really matter. Just send it to someone. Just find that Tennessee Titans fan that you know and let them know that A to Z Sports is live and talking Femi Oladejo, second round holdouts, the entirety of the NFL. A little bit of a conversation this morning. You can also repost this on Twitter or X, whatever you call it nowadays, to help spread the word. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and leave a like on the show before we get going here on a wonderful Wednesday morning.
Yep, let's do it officially. Welcome in the A to Z Sports here live on a Wednesday. I'm Austin Stanley. He is Ryan Roberts of A to Z Sports Film Room. Check out that YouTube channel whenever you have a chance for incredible high-level football content with Ryan and Joe DeLeon. Also, I think our sponsors, they make it happen for us, and they help out all of you. Wilson County Hyundai, wilsoncountyhyundai.com. Make them a part of your new car buying process. Go see them in Lebanon or online at wilsoncountyhyundai.com. The Bone and Joint Institute, boneandjointtn.org, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care, and Barton Drury Insurance Group, customized solutions for all of your insurance needs. They're online at bartondrury.com. I did skip a portion of the intro. We go live every weekday mornings at 8 Central on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links to the show segment by segment on our Twitter X timeline. Hit us up on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads for more great Titans content and 5-star Google reviews. That's what you should do here. 5 stars on Google for A to Z Sports. That goes a long way for us. So now that the intro is done and complete, but backwards, that's kind of how my brain's working right now, Ryan. But not more about that, because people have noticed that I'm wearing a backwards hat today. This is the second show in 2025 that I've worn a hat on. One was at the NFL Combine when Sam, Easton, and I had to record in the evenings, and whatever I did that day led to me wearing a hat in the evening. And this morning, it's just one of those mornings where you wear a hat in the morning. So Ryan, I asked you, to think about this. When does the offseason in the NFL officially end for you? Because training camp starts next week for the majority of teams. And I kind of view that as the offseason ending. But what does it look like to you? When does the offseason end to you?
Yeah, no, I think that I think I'm on the same wavelength as you. It's also for like the college folks out there. I know you're talking about like NFL conversation, but like college folks were starting media days this week as well too, right? So
Yep.
like I feel like this is our last like, all right, we're about to get football here. You know, the college football camps obviously start in a few more weeks from today, comparatively to where NFL training camps start. But I think this is the time, man. And ultimately, I'm so excited about this, Austin. I know we were talking about this before the show started a little bit, but man, the challenges that an NFL offseason can bring for us on the media side, where we have to figure out some things to talk about occasionally. Luckily, this topic today, this is very important, right? Like, this isn't a filler conversation of like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
the heck are we going to talk about today? This is a very important conversation, not only for the NFL right this second, but for the future. I mean, like, this is going to set a precedence for the future of the NFL and how they negotiate contracts, second round, and just in general.
No, this is huge, and it's something that, like, I'm not expecting this show to get the most numbers of today from the viewership, right? Like, it's not one of those shows. I think we probably could have talked about Calvin Ridley being among others receiving votes in the NFL's top 10 wide receiver rankings that came out on ESPN.com. He was one of the 25 guys that were linked in that article. There's a top 10. There were 6 honorable mention, and then there was 9 others receiving votes, and Calvin Ridley was one of those 9 receiving votes. We could talk about that. We could continue to do some fluff topics, but this is a real topic, Ryan. You're absolutely right, because a new precedent has been set by division foe for the Titans, the Houston Texans. And so Tom Pelissero had this tweet back in early May. This is roughly a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks after the actual draft. The Texans and rookie Jaden Higgins have agreed to a fully guaranteed 4-year, $11.7 million contract per Higgins' agent, Chris Cabot. Higgins is the first second-round pick in NFL history to have a fully guaranteed contract. So that's something that, honestly, on May 8th, when it was sent, I wasn't paying attention to it. Like, it's not something that completely made my alarm bells go, ooh, that's different. That could have some long-lasting effects. Now, others did. Tyler Fornes wrote about it at A2ZSports.com about what this could be. And then the Browns, because Higgins was the 34th pick, right? Mm-hmm. He was the second pick of the third round. Carson Schlesinger, the linebacker from UCLA, went 33rd to the Browns. And Higgins signed his deal before Schlesinger signed his deal, because Higgins was the first pick of the Texans draft. First round picks get guaranteed deals and have been for several years now. Second round picks have not been. I saw some other data from Pelissero when I was going back to kind of revisit the topic from May. Usually players selected in that 30s range get about 91% of their contracts guaranteed. That had been the trend. And then the deeper you get in the second round, the more that percentage falls off, because players, obviously the less guaranteed of a hit they will be. Eric Stanley says Higgins is good, though. I mean, sure, that's fine. I mean, there's a lot of really, really good second round picks that have not gotten second.
His agents might even be better than him. I mean, to honestly get that contract fully guaranteed is wild.
For sure.
I mean, it's just such a weird. I mean, because we have a couple of these conversation points. I mean, we've talked. I know we've talked a little bit about on this show before about like the Shamar Stewart situation, right? That is happening in the first round, but like the second round, the minute that Higgins signed that deal, it created such a ripple effect of the guys right behind him are like, hey, I want a fully guaranteed contract. Like, why?
The guy in front of him, Carson Schlesinger, right. the Browns, who set up a bad precedent by giving Deshaun Watson a fully guaranteed deal a few years ago. The Browns didn't have to do that to Deshaun Watson. The Browns kind of got stuck between a rock and a hard place when it came to Carson Schlesinger, and they gave him a fully guaranteed deal, and that's it. So now you've got the 33rd pick, the 34th pick signed, and then you've got the other 30 picks in the second round unsigned. Here we are with who opened the Chargers officially opened their training camp, and their wide receiver Trey Harris at Ole Miss, the first second round pick to have a holdout, because he hasn't signed his deal yet, because they got to wait for others. It's a complete mess.
It's a domino effect. I mean, and I understand it, right? The player right behind him, his agents, and that player is going to say, hey, like, I'm one player behind that player. Why shouldn't I get a fully guaranteed contract, or at least a higher percentage, if not a fully guaranteed contract? And then what happens after that, Austin? The next guy wants the same thing. And then the next guy wants the same thing. And then Quinshon Judkins is facing legal issues now too. So like, how does that throw a wrench into this whole conversation of like guaranteed money for second round picks? It has created a ripple effect, a domino effect, whatever effect you want to kind of put on it. It is fascinating to see because eventually someone's going to need to cave here, right? Is it the side of the player and the agent? Is it the side of the team? We're even talking about for the dispute with the Shamar Stewart conversation of like, would he want to re-enter the 2026 NFL draft and not even play for the Cincinnati Bengals? Like there is so much interwoven here that technically the second round disputes and the Shamar Stewart situation are not related, but they are related when we really think about it. Like you are negotiating a new standard in contracts in the NFL right now, or at least a consistent standard in contracts. And this is going to be a wild ride to see what happens the next step.
Yeah. Bring your brooms because it's going to be a mess. I don't know if you've seen that movie that I don't remember the name of. Zach Galifianakis played a guy in North Carolina who ran for office against Will Ferrell. I do not remember the name of the movie, but it's a very silly movie. But bring your brooms. It's going to be a mess because Femi Oladejo, when we talk about this from a Titans perspective, I think you brought up the Quinshon Judkins situation. That's it. Oh, man, that's just another one that's really tough to look at because it's Schlesinger, Higgins at the top 2 picks in the second round. Then Seattle Seahawks went with Nick Imanori. I can never pronounce that name right. That was the Titans' original third of the campaign. Thank you, Andrew. That the Titans' original second round pick was 35th overall, where the South Carolina safety went. Then 36th overall, the Browns back on the board. That's where Quinshon Judkins went. And so now it's just 2 picks after Higgins. You've got the guy dealing with a domestic situation and was arrested over the weekend. And who knows what that's going to do, if that's going to drag things out. And then Femi Oladejo was the 20th selection of the second round. So are they going to have to go in order? Are the Titans going to be waiting on all of these players? Like Luther Burden, Tyler Shuck, a potential starting quarterback for the Saints. Is he going to be waiting for this? And does he deserve fully guaranteed because of the situation that he's in with his position? You got big time name players like Mason Taylor, Terrence Ferguson, a couple tight ends, Will Johnson, who is a first round talent who fell because of an injury situation. The reason why Will Johnson wasn't a first round pick is because you don't want to give that knee situation fully guaranteed money. Now, he's sitting here maybe looking at a fully guaranteed deal if it makes it to him. Then all the way down to Femi Oladejo, the 52nd pick overall in the NFL draft. So here's the first question we want to get to with you guys overall. We're going to look at this from a Femi Oladejo viewpoint because we have talked about him quite a bit. Ryan, you actually had Femi on the A to Z Sports Film Room YouTube channel pre-draft before he was a Titan to interview him about his situation. The question here is second round pick contract stalemate. Is this a big deal, small deal, or no deal for Femi Oladejo? Because Femi Oladejo has only played 10 games in his life at edge rusher. If you want to count the Senior Bowl, does that make 11 or is the Senior Bowl 10? Ryan.
Senior Bowl was 11, I think he said on the interview. So
the Senior Bowl was 11. So he's played 10 real games plus a fake game at edge position, at edge rusher. Going into being a rookie in the NFL. So for Femi Oladejo, because if he doesn't sign a contract by training camp, he's not practicing. So big deal, small deal, or no deal for Femi Oladejo. I'll put up a YouTube poll, but curious to see what everybody has to say in the comments here in a second. But first, telling you guys about our great friends at the Barton Drury Insurance Group. Customized solutions for all of your insurance needs. BartonDrury.com is their website. Back last year, Zach and I, as our business was growing and growing with A to Z Sports across the country, it was time for us to invest in our employees to another level and get health coverage for our company. We had hit that threshold. We had gotten big enough. It was time for us to do that as business owners, and we took that very seriously. We shopped around the market, local and afar, to try to find the best fit, and we landed with Barton Drury Insurance Group. This is before a potential partnership on the show was even thought about. We went strictly because they are good at what they do. And they found us the best rates for our employees and the best rates for us, the employers, to make everything work together. They do a phenomenal job with everything when it comes to insurance. It's not just the employer-employee benefits, 401k planning, home, rental, auto, umbrella insurance. We joked about the surety bond all summer, but Barton Drury Insurance Group, they've got you covered. They're local. They are Titans fans as well in the area, online at bartondrury.com.
Make sure you are liking the show, everyone. If you're live with us on YouTube, make sure that you hit that like button and you're subscribed to the channel. If you're listening to us on Twitch or Facebook, you can also like and share the show to make sure that everyone knows that we're talking Tennessee Titans, even in the part of the offseason that maybe people don't pay as much attention to. But we are here. Make sure that you are liking and supporting the channel.
All right, so I'm just putting up that YouTube poll there so you can vote on that. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, I'm sorry, send an email to Mark Zuckerberg and have him do live polls on Facebook and lives. They used to have that actually back in the day, but not anymore. So the situation, the reset here, is it a big deal, small deal, or no deal for Titans rookie Femi Oladejo that he is stuck in this second-round pick contract stalemate? Ryan, I will send you to the chat to see what everybody's saying. What are you seeing from the chat as we let the YouTube poll marinate and mature with some votes here?
Yep. And remember, as you are filling this out, folks, this is from Femi's perspective. Yes. Big deal, small deal, or no deal for Femi Oladejo, the rookie who, again, has only played 10 real football games on the edge. Cam Wardsburner starts off with a big deal. Guy Man, said that he also agrees it is a big deal. Steven says, big deal. 30 of 32 teams haven't gotten their second-round picks signed. Big Ten Jeff says, no deal. He isn't close to being worth guaranteed. We're talking from the player perspective, Jeff.
Come on, dude, Jeff, understand. Like, we're talking about the missing, like, the potential of him not practicing, like missing time.
Missing time, yeah. Missing reps, missing opportunities. Absolutely. Yep. We had IR Hoshi also said that it is a no deal. Eric Stanley agrees, no deal. Need more time. I don't know what he's losing time potentially. Bill says huge deal. No deal from Tall Texan. Big deal from Katie. We had a big deal also from Maven Cole. We had a small deal from Anthony Cook. We had a small deal from Top Tier. It will get done soon enough. We'll see. No deal from J.M. Gonzalez. We have a small deal from Deborah. And then here's Cam Wardsburner following up also, Austin, and said, you need these reps as a rookie. It's a big deal. Absolutely. That's kind of what we're aiming for here. Darius Horton says, big deal for a team that desperately needs edge help and a guy that only played 11 games at edge. He needs the training at the NFL level. Brad also agreed it is a big deal. No deal from Billy Jones. He will sign next week. No deal from Eric Castillo. If Femi loves Tennessee, he'll practice.
Not how it works.
That's not how it works.
He practiced during mini camp, right? Without a contract. So, but when it comes, training camp's different.
I was going to say, you can't practice without a contract in training camp, right?
No.
I mean, like
training camp, you can have mini camp and OTAs. You can have some, there's like some other sheet of paper that you sign. Right. That
Edward also said small deal, big deal from Raymond. JM said, okay, small deal. We have a small deal from Jason. We have
small deal till it's not, right?
Yes. And no deal from Chris. So yeah, I think that's most of the people in here. Yeah.
So Ryan, there are, if you count today, there are 7 days before the team reports. Now, sometimes rookies report before the veterans. I'm not exactly sure what the Titan situation is on that reporting logistics. But I guess for your answer here, because there is time, right? There are 6+ days for something to get done. But for me, I'm going to say it's a big deal because I don't necessarily think I see Femi Oladejo's camp jumping the line, right? I don't know if anybody's going to jump the line. Yeah. I guess if you're jumping the line of like going in order, because everybody's waiting on the Seahawks and Nick Emmanuel. God, that's name just pisses me off. Did I get it right? Emmanuel?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, I got it right. So everybody's waiting on him, and then Quinshawn Junkins threw that for a loop. Then you've got the Dolphins. And then, so it's just, is Femi's camp going to wait until it's their turn in line? Is it going to just be a quick, like, once it pops, everybody falls into place? Like who's going to start the momentum here? So I think it's a big deal because I don't necessarily see any movement on this. It's been very still for
Yes.
over 2 months. Schlesinger signed on May 9th. Higgins did his deal on May 8th. It is July 16th. It has been over 2 months, and now camps have begun, and no movement has happened. So I'd say a big deal.
I agree that it's a big deal. I'm really fascinated to see if Nick Emenwari, let's say that he does just kind of cave and say like, all right, I'll take 90 something percent, whatever you said it was, 91%.
91 was before this situation.
So I'll get 91% of the guaranteed and I'll play, right? Like I want to be on the field. I'm a rookie, yada, yada, yada. I am fascinated if that happens though, if it does cause that domino effect, because yes, the player next, it does lose leverage because the guy in front of you caved, but you didn't lose all the leverage, right? Like there's still a player in a reasonable part of the round similar to you that did get a guaranteed contract. So does the next player fight, and does that continue? I don't actually know when it's going to end, to be honest. Like I agree with you. I don't think there's like this foreseeable, like it's going to happen tomorrow and then this ripple effect will happen over the next 3 to 4 days and everybody is signed by training camp. I don't know if that's a situation that's going to happen. I mean, you already mentioned Trey Harris for the Chargers is holding out right now. Like he's not participating because of this whole situation. So I am fascinated to see if it does have this domino effect that I think a lot of people think it's going to happen, or if this is a very individualized case by individualized case as far as these agents fighting. I mean, you would think that, the agent side of things, right? Like they want as much money as possible. So like they're going to fight as much as they could fight ultimately. So I am interested to see that part. I think it's a big deal though right now, because until I know that there is an end, if it ended today and Femi just signed and was like, hey, I'm good, then it's a no deal, right? Like he's ready to go. He didn't miss much time. Like he's ready for training camp and he's good. But if this does trickle into training camp and a player, because on the interview that we did, he even talked about before this season, Austin, he was playing linebacker. Beginning the season, he was playing linebacker. It wasn't until after game 2 that they were like, hey, we have a lot of good linebackers. Do you want to go play edge? Like, this isn't like he has had a full offseason outside of this one playing edge before either. So there is no sizable sample size of him playing edge in a large scale, and he hasn't had a ton of practice time at it either. So yes, if this trickles into training camp and he misses time, a second round pick that you were going to depend upon as a pass rusher in 2025, not being there and not getting those reps, it's a huge deal, I think.
I think it's a great extra point that you've made there. Is it's not that he just played 10 games last season, because there's 12 games in a college schedule, right? He could have easily had a couple injuries that kept him out of a couple games, and he spent the whole year going into that season training and practicing as an edge player. No, like 12 months ago when UCLA was opening its fall camp for practice, he was an inside linebacker. He was an inside linebacker until mid-September, when it was just like, hey, on a whim, let's go get after the passer, man. Like, which is just crazy that, UCLA, who again had a really good inside linebacker, they went 33rd overall, who's got a fully guaranteed contract with Schlesinger right here that we've talked about today.
And they had another one that got drafted as well. I can't remember the kid's name, but he's a super athletic kid that got drafted later in the draft as well. So they had 2 linebackers that got drafted this year. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then Femi right there. So they got a couple, they got dudes, right? So I think it's, where I'm at with this is, you mentioned Trey Harris again, who the Chargers open camp because they're in the Hall of Fame game. And so now he's 3 picks after Femi. So I just don't know how this is going to end, because Orlando says, I'm interested to see the second round picks next year do the same. Well, we got to get through this year, dude. And why? So why is this happening? Because Jonathan Cavalier had this comment that I favorited. It says Titans should just sign him fully guaranteed and say F the rest of the league. It's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things. Like, okay, like the difference of 91% guaranteed versus 100% guaranteed for Femi Oladejo, yes, you're correct, is not that much money in the grand scheme of things. But the Titans would piss off so many other owners, right? They'd piss off everybody except the Texans and the Browns, who have already had to do this. If the Titans just gave Femi fully guaranteed money, the 52nd pick overall, that would not go well in the league. And owners are out there looking out for other owners because they are trying to continue to spend their money and make their money as best as possible with each other as 32 franchises of the league. They're not going to do that to the other ownership. I think everybody's probably furious at the Texans ownership for allowing this to happen with Jaden Higgins in the first place.
I agree with you. Yeah. Because it's, you have to think of it in like the line of this conversation, right? We're talking about a pick. What was Schlesinger again? Was he 33, 34?
33. Schlesinger was 33.
Yep.
Higgins was 34. Higgins
Yep.
got signed before Schlesinger. So then the Browns were like, well, I guess we kind of have to do it. We're kind of stuck in between the end of the first round and Higgins. And now you've got all these other teams that are waiting.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, because you have to think of it this way. 34 has been taken care of. He's got his fully guaranteed contract. The next conversation point is the Seahawks at 35 with Iman Wari. And then from there, it's 36. Then it's 37. If the 52nd overall pick says, you know what, screw this, the other way around. If the franchise is like, screw this, fully guaranteed contract, then all the teams from 35 now to 51 are like, you just cut our legs from under us here, man. Like, we have way less leverage than we had just 10 minutes ago. Like, we have very little leverage at that point. And then you get into those brutal conversations. And if that happens, ultimately, this holdout might actually last a lot longer than it potentially might, I think. Yeah. Because if you do that to them, then that is going to be a standoff. Because now the players, the agents are going to say, you have zero leverage now. And then but on the other side, they're going to be like, no, we still have some leverage here. Like, we're going to fight the fight. So it could get really messy if the 52nd overall pick jumped all those players and was like, nope, we're breaking the line here. The organization is giving me a fully guaranteed contract and I'm ready to roll. If on the other side, though, if Femi decides, I just want to play, it doesn't really cut leverage from the 35th overall pick at that point, right? Like, he still has, I'm more in the ballpark of this conversation, so I still have leverage to my point. But I agree, if the Titans break that seal and they make that standard known at 52, then the teams in front of them have a lot less leverage to negotiate potentially. And the other thing of it also for like the future, you're talking about like the next year's class. This is now, if every team in the second round caves from here on of like fully guaranteed contracts, then eventually we're going to be talking about the first pick in the third round is going to want a fully guaranteed contract, and then so on and so forth. Like, this ripple effect is not just now, guys. Like, we're talking about long term. This could create a new standard in how contracts are done in the NFL potentially.
Yeah. And so I'm looking up last year, the 52nd pick was Adonai Mitchell, a receiver out of Texas, went to the Colts. Now, I'm looking at what his contract is. I'm trying to pull that up as fast as I can here. He signed a 4-year deal. 4-year deal, $7.38 million, 4.8 guaranteed. So, like, the percentage, if I can let me pull out my calculator app right quick and do a little division here. 4.8 divided by 7.8. That's 61.5% guaranteed, roughly, for Adonai Mitchell last year. So, I mean, is Femi's camp going to fight for a little bit more than that? And that's a big difference from fully guaranteed for AD Mitchell. Now, AD Mitchell, and I don't remember this, I might have to hit up Destin Adams from our Colts reporter. He had some health issues. He's got diabetes. He's an advocate for diabetes. I'm not sure if there's a something in his contract negotiation that had that as a wrinkle. Could have been. I'm not entirely sure, but I think there's a big difference in. So for Jonathan saying, just say, screw it, F the rest of the owners, sign him to 100% guaranteed. That's a big jump from 61.5 a year ago to 100% this year for the 52nd overall pick.
Yes. And relationships matter in this business as well. I know someone said, like, who cares what other owners think? It's like, guys, they're trading with each other all the time. They're some of these new standards that we talk about as far as like things around the league, like they work together, right? Like there is a working relationship, even though they're not in the same building each and every day, they are part of the same league. They're a part of the same entity. Like they need to be able to work together in some capacity. Yes.
Absolutely.
Bridges. Yeah,
absolutely. Like, who do you think was frustrated when the Titans didn't have a majority owner several years ago? The rest of the owners were frustrated because the Titans didn't have their stuff together from a legality standpoint. And so they kind of forced the Titans to get it together. That's why it took so hard. It was a hard thing to do for the league to push Daniel Snyder out of Washington because if the other owners vote to push out an owner, then they know if they screw up, they could be pushed out next. And nobody wants to lose that billion-dollar entity plus multi-billion-dollar entity that is an NFL franchise. So
Yep.
here's the one thing that again, my answer is a big deal. This is a big deal for Femi Oladejo. We're about to talk about it from a Titans perspective here in a second. I'm going to read the YouTube poll results because I voted big deal on YouTube. Big deal has 42% of the votes. Small deal with 35% of the votes. No deal at 23%. That's actually pretty balanced from what I was expecting. I was expecting a lot less no deal votes than what we saw.
Yeah. I thought if it wasn't a player that needed so much practice time and so much experience, I think that people's perspectives obviously would change so much. But it's just the fact that people know the situation. Like they know, hey, this kid's really talented, high upside, but he's not ready, right? Like he's not ready. And also the fact that he's not ready would lead you to like, hey, maybe he doesn't have to play a ton in 2025, but like, he does, right? Like you don't have great defensive end depth where you're just like, Femi doesn't have to play. Like you need him to play along with guys like Draymond Jones and Arden Key. Like he needs to play and he needs to be productive in some type of capacity. So those things interwoven together, I think is kind of manipulated a little bit, right? Like again, here's an interesting one. You mentioned Trey Harris for the Chargers, right?
Yeah.
Who's in the same ballpark, 3 picks later. He is a player that is much more NFL ready, right? Like he's played a ton of football, both before Ole Miss and at Ole Miss, and he's kind of viewed as like more of a high floor player. Like he's going to come in, he's going to run good routes, he's going to win at the catch point, cool, whatever. He'll probably be a solid number 3 early on for the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm not as worried about him missing practice time as I am about Femi Oladejo missing practice time. Like it is very, very different situation, which is why I think that the poll is the way it is.
I agree. Also, receivers can get more quality work done pre-pads, pre-training camp than edge rushers, right? For if you're a team that has an offensive lineman second round pick, or a D lineman second round pick, like we're talking about, like that's rough. Like you think the Dolphins don't want Jonah Savage? Why are all these second round pick names at the top really tough for me to pronounce? Because
Jonah's name is horrible, dude. I for the longest time I thought it was Jonah Savanaya, but apparently someone asked him at the combine, and apparently it's Savainaya or something like that. I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's like turn the intensity level up when you say Savainaya. So I mean, they're probably frustrated with offensive linemen. TJ Sanders, Bills pick out of South Carolina. So there's a lot of bigger body guys that have to get all this work. And the Texans kind of screwed themselves because their starting tackle might be the 48th overall pick with Ursery out of Minnesota because their offensive line is so bad. Like I think that's the other thing too. Why the Texans do this? Like why? Like do you have any? Like I'm not saying that you believe this, but yes. Ryan, if I were saying, yes. if you were the Texans, PR and you had to sell this to the other owners on why did you guys give Jaden Higgins a fully guaranteed contract as a 34th overall pick? Why?
I don't have an answer. Like I don't have a clear answer to that. I don't know. I mean, I would actually love, I wonder if there's been an article written about this from the Houston Texans side. I'm sure there probably has. I mean, I'm sure that this is a hot button debate, but I don't know. I mean, you rewrote a standard by making one single move, and it is affecting what 30 of 32 other teams, right? So it's
including themselves again.
Yes, including themselves. Yeah,
that's I didn't even think about that until now. Until I was scrolling through, it's there's Ursery right there.
It's like the Bengals situation with Shamar Stewart because Shamar is fighting basically of like, hey, the Bengals, like this is what a guy in my situation, in my range has made in the past. This is what I want. Well, now the Texans, you can never give a non-guaranteed second round contract again, right?
Yeah. I mean, their argument is probably that was our first pick of the draft because of the trade with Jackson. That's going to be their argument again, whether you buy it, sell it, or throw it into the sky and shoot it in the sun. But I mean, it makes no sense. You didn't have to do that. Like there was not the gun to your head to say you have to do this, but they did it.
And as people on a Tennessee Titans channel right now, how furious are you about a division foe doing this right now, man? Like you really, Like if Femi Oladejo signs really late into training camp or like right before the season and he doesn't do diddly squat for you in 2025, whether he was going to or not, but let's say he has like one sack this year and he's just like unplayable. Like you're just like, oh man, this guy's not ready. You got to be pissed off at the Houston Texans more than you originally even were, right? Because it's like you really just you screwed us a little bit at a very important position. So yeah, man, it's no idea why Houston, Nick Caserio, and that brass has done what they did, but they did it, and now everybody's gonna react accordingly, I suppose.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Because they're messing with everybody else's business. It's not just about wins and losses. This is a business thing that they've thrown a wrinkle into. All right, so I've got a note about what I think the Titans are going to be doing with Femi Oladejo that might be a silver lining of like why it's not the end of the world that he might miss some time. But let's go ahead and ask this question, Ryan. Let's think about it from the Titans perspective. We're going to go on a scale of 1 through 10. Mm-hmm. How worried are you about the Titans' edge position without Femi Oladejo under contract? On a 1 through 10 scale, how worried are you about the Titans' edge position without Femi under contract? So you mentioned Draymond Jones, Arden Key. Those are your penciled-in starters on the edge. There's not a lot of notable names after them on the roster of guys who have production in the NFL. So on a scale of 1 through 10, how concerned are you with the Titans edge group, even without Femi Oladejo under contract? I see some comments rolling in. We'll get to those here in a second, but first, the Bone and Joint Institute, they've got you covered whenever an injury pops up in life. Nobody likes being hurt. It sucks. It's annoying. Injuries are a massive inconvenience in our adult lives. So don't let it linger. Don't let it affect your family life, playing with your kids, playing with your grandkids, being social. Don't let it affect your work. Go check them out. Get it checked out in Franklin, Tennessee at the Bone and Joint Institute. They are the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. They have so many experts, I believe a dozen physicians at the Bone and Joint Institute that have teamed together to create this facility and this company here to help us out in Middle Tennessee for whatever that situation is. If you've got a foot, ankle, you got our guy, Dr. Jeff Watson, who's been on Doc Talks with us quite a bit. My guy, Dr. Scott Arthur, has helped me out with my knee and my shoulder in the past, and so many others at the Bone and Joint Institute in Franklin. They've also got a state-of-the-art physical therapy center and rehab facility on campus as well. They make it easy for you online, boneandjointtn.org.
Make sure, folks, after the show, go to Google. 5-star Google reviews are always very much appreciated here at A to Z Sports. I'm a weirdo. Austin knows this. I think a lot of people know that I'm a little bit of a weirdo. So I was actually looking at the Google reviews yesterday for some reason. I don't exactly know why. But yes, a lot of great reviews in there. If you guys want to put some constructive criticism as well, that's totally fine. Something you want to see us do on the show a little bit more, something you would like to see us try, totally fine. Just make sure that is labeled with a 5-star Google review.
Yeah, 172 5-star Google reviews right now. But it's been a while since we've. Oh, wait, never mind. Jordan, 2 days ago. I missed this one. And Mr. No One 2 days ago. I missed that one too. So I thought we had kind of a dry spell, but no, we've got. I'll just go ahead and read them real quick because Jordan says, I love the Titans show. Don't get much coverage, so it's great to hear about my team daily. Austin, hey, is my guy. So I'm glad he created this show for us Titans fans. I miss Sam, but Easton is growing on me. He's very detailed report with some great articles. Keep up the good work, guys. And then Mr. No One says 5-star. Mr. Nobody here. My real name is Logan. Been watching you guys for years, all the way back when Zach was on the show every day. Love these guys. Been a long-time fan for 25 years in Mississippi. So shout out to you two guys for your 5-star reviews. All right, to the chat, Ryan. Scale 1 through 10. How concerned, worried are Titans fans in the chat here about the edge position without Femi under contract?
Well, Darren Lee started us out with a 10, so he is very concerned. Orlando says a 13, breaking the scale there. Tall Texan says an 8, even with Femi. So even with Femi, it's an 8. He's just concerned about the edge group. Johnny says 10. It was already terrible even with him. Maven says a 9. Cap says worried at 10 with him, so 11. Eric says 9. Eric Castillo says a 10. Austin Lammers says 9.99. Kendall says 1, but I get here and think so. but I just got here and think he'll play. Okay, so he's not concerned because he thinks he's going to be there in time. Daniel Caribbean says 7. Femi will play. We got 10 from Darren said 10 again. We had a 7 from Teddy Powell. We have a 0 from Brandon says we'll find rushers.
Very
easy.
Okay, Brandon. Very confident. We'll just go find them. No big deal.
Darius Horn says an 8. Todd Apple, says 7 or 8. 8 from Top Tier, a 3 from JM Gonzalez. We have Big Ten Jeff with an 8. MB says 1. This team isn't expected to light the league on fire this year, so they're not worried about the edge position.
So MB's just going with I have no expectations for them, so it doesn't matter.
Yes, nothing matters. Yes, nothing matters. Nick Ewing, Cam Ward could throw for 90 interceptions this year. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Nick Ewing says 9.8, lost 9 sacks when they let Landry go to New England.
Nick maybe didn't watch the show yesterday when Easton and I talked about Harold Landry's good 9 plays. He had 9 sacks, but go watch the other 700 snaps Harold Landry took last season.
Oh man. Karen says at 8, just smashed at 2. I don't think he was going to add much more than just another body. Okay.
Let's pause there because I want to go through the actual bodies because I got my handy dandy roster for minicamp here. So Titans outside linebackers and edge rushers as they list them on their roster. Draymond Jones, Arden Key, your penciled in starters. Lorenzo Carter, who's was like a 5-star high school recruit, went to Georgia and hasn't truly lived up to that 5-star name, but still, 8 years in the league. So Lorenzo Carter's on the team. Desmond Evans, he's a rookie out of North Carolina, who undrafted free agent. Desmond Evans right there. Other outside linebackers on the roster are Titus Leo, a second-year player out of Wagner. Jalen Harrell.
Wagner, great Titus Leo, man.
Okay, I had a feeling you would know exactly who Titus Wagner was going to be. Jalen Harrell, 7th-round pick from a year ago out of Michigan, who I think is a good player, but not super high ceiling. And then Ali Gay, who's a couple years out of LSU. He's 27 years old, but he's only got 2 years of experience, which is kind of wild. So not a lot of guys. So Ryan, before I let you answer the question on your level of worry for the Titans 1 through 10, one thing that I think is going to slightly lessen the blow for the Titans is the type of defense I think they're going to play. I think the Titans are going to be very positionless up front. I think the majority of their snaps, they're only going to have one inside linebacker. So we're going to talk a lot about who's going to play next to Cody Barton conversation of the other inside linebacker. I don't think that starter is going to be on the field that much. I think they're going to have 5 DBs as their base and 1 inside linebacker. That means you got 5 other guys on the field. And I think those 5 other guys are going to be a combination of D linemen and edge rushers. I think it could very easily be, Jeffrey Simmons, Devondre Sweat, and Sebastian Joseph Day with 2 edge rushers of Drones and Key. You could remove one of those bigger bodies like Sebastian Joseph Day and add Femi out there too. Like there's a lot of different ways where Femi Oladejo could be the 3rd edge rusher on the field. And that is where he's almost like a wild card kind of joker rusher and whatever you want to label it with a fun name. But I think he could be a movable piece as the 3rd edge rusher, or maybe you're not worried about him setting the edge traditionally. Maybe you're just saying, go use your athleticism and try to knife through the line and see if you can make a play when they're in a spot where they have 3 edge rushers with, a Simmons and a Sweat up front. So that's where I think it might lessen the blow a tad. I still think it's a big deal for Femi. But what is your answer 1 through 10 on your worry here with that little caveat tossed in the mix?
Well, that uniqueness and that versatility is also very interesting on Femi's side because he has linebacker experience too, right? So like if you're talking about positionless football, like he's done a lot of different things in his career. So just very interesting note there. For me, I'm at like a 5 right now. Like
you can't answer a 5. Yeah, you can't be on the fence. You got to be over on. You can add a decimal.
I'm a 5.5. Then I'm a 5.5.
So you're slightly more concerned. Yes. Okay,
slightly more concerned than not concerned at all. I am concerned in the sense of it is one less quality athletic body in a room, right? Like that is my concern. But I've been consistent on the show, and I will be consistent on this. I think year 2 and year 3, Femi Oladejo is going to be a really good football player. Rookie year, Femi Oladejo, I think he's going to be very developmental. And I honestly, like, I think that some people are going to set him up for a little bit of failure. Like they are going to ask him to be too much in year 1.
Yeah.
They're asking him to be over his weight class in year 1. I mean, just quite frankly. So I think that I think he is at best year 1, probably a solid addition to a room, but I don't think he's a difference maker, right? Like I'm basically saying is, I don't think Femi takes this edge group from below average to above average just with his presence. I think that he is a quality cog to a room, but in an edge group that I think is going to be below average anyway, I don't see it being above average with Femi Oladejo in the room either, right? So I think it's a 5.5. It worries me because I do think he has developmental upside and I think he has potential, but for the quality of the edge room, I don't think that it's like this big boost of like, wow, they just got a whole lot better. I think they get slightly better at best with Femi this year.
I'm at a 7.5. I think this edge group is super lacking. I don't see in the Titans training camps of the past. There's been that no name edge guy who's kind of made some like I like Caleb Murphy was like, oh, look at Caleb Murphy go, like a few preseasons ago, and didn't make the team.
State's great Caleb Murphy.
That's right. Didn't make the team because they had better players and better depth above him. Like they need that guy, because they have the availability for that type of player to make the roster. And so I think I'm concerned about the edge because I'm concerned about the secondary and the corners. L'Jarius Sneed, I don't trust until I see him. Jarvis Brownlee Jr., I'm lower on than Easton is. I like him. I just don't think he's a bona fide dude yet. I think he's a guy who played really well as a 5th-round rookie a year ago because they needed him to go out there and play, but he made a lot of mistakes, made a lot of nice plays too. But I think he has a chance to get better, but I'm not just like all in on Jarvis Brownlee Jr. to this point. So I question a lot of things in the secondary and the center of the defense too. So I think not having a bona fide edge who can win more often than they don't win makes me concerned. And so they're going to be looking, in my opinion, for edge help throughout the month of August of players to get cut. And they've got that number 1 waiver wire. So that's a benefit to them in this situation for sure. So I have a feeling that there's going to be an edge defender on this week 1 roster that's currently on another roster. So that's kind of where I'm looking at it.
So the question on that, the potential edge addition, is that regardless of if Femi is playing or not? Like even if Femi is good to go and he's been practicing, do you still think they dip into another edge potentially to add to the roster?
Yeah. So my 7.5 is with Femi unsigned. I think if Femi is signed, I probably drop down to I'll make it a 6.5. It's still they still need help. Yeah.
Sure.
To answer your question, they still need help.
It's gonna be interesting, man. Such an important position. Someone said in the chat, which I don't think is like unreasonable. They said having your best pass rusher be a 300+ pounder interior defensive lineman is a very flawed thing. It's something to that effect. And like, I agree with that. I mean, it's great that Jeff Simmons is who he is when he's at his best. And he's a very potent interior player and he can create a lot of penetration, but I agree that it is flawed to have your best pass rusher potentially being an interior rusher. I do think that is a flawed ideology.
Yeah. So Johnny has a comment here that I think he's understanding. He says, it's not lost on me. The Titans boasted after the draft about picking the right guys who love football, and now they have a 2nd-round holdout. This is not a Femi Oladejo issue. This is not a Femi Oladejo personality issue. This is a Houston Texans situation that they blew up all 2nd-round draft pick contract negotiations by giving Jaden Higgins a fully guaranteed deal. So this has nothing to do with Femi Oladejo's football character or human character at all. I think Femi Oladejo wants to be done. From what I describe, somebody asked me on 3HL when I went on after rookie minicamp, how would I describe Femi Oladejo? He's a ball of sunshine and muscle. Like that's exactly what he is. He's a super happy, energetic guy with a big pretty nice white teeth smile, and he looks like an action figure that you had as a kid. And he moves like one too. He moves really, really well. And so I don't think, and he doesn't stop talking either on the field. Like I think he loves football. I think that comment is completely misunderstood. This is not a holdout from an attitude standpoint from Femi. This is a business standpoint that the entire NFL is having to figure out on the fly.
And I'm sure that like the initial conversation of like, hey, Femi, we need to chill and figure this out. Like it wasn't Femi that went to his agent and was like, hey, I want to hold out because that guy got a guaranteed second round contract. Like that's the agent's job, right? Like the agent is there to make his clients money, right? And do as much money as possible. Like that is an agent's responsibility. And honestly, I don't even blame the agent in this situation. The agent's like, hey, that broke ground right there. We've never seen that before. I'm going to look out for the best interest of my client. Like I don't blame anybody on their side. It's just the nature of what we're dealing with the situation that the Texans created. Absolutely.
Well, and this is like NFL Players Association thing. Like if Femi Oladejo just goes and takes the 61.5% guaranteed money that AD Mitchell got at 52 last year, then the PA is not going to be happy with Femi Oladejo.
Absolutely not. Yeah,
and you don't want that before you've played an NFL game. You don't want the PA being mad at you. So I think it's just there are no winners here. I guess Jaden Higgins and Carson
Higgins is the winner. He's the winner. Yeah, absolutely. He's the first, man. He's the first, and he's got all his buddies. So good for him.
Exactly. He's got his 11.7, and he's gonna do whatever he does with the Texans. All right, Ryan. Chat just smashed earlier in the show. Late to the party, Ryan has no mustache and Austin has a hat. If you've seen Stranger Things, this is the upside down. So do you want to explain your mustacheless situation now?
Sure. Yeah. This wasn't I look, the minute that I made it known that I cut my mustache, I had me, Austin, and Easton have a group chat. Easton came in just swinging like that he had won, right? Because like out peer pressure, I won. Easton did not win. My wife didn't even win. My wife actually didn't mind the mustache. She was like, "Oh, I like it. I like the mustache." I was like, "Cool." We broke ground there. But literally one day, my daughter came up to me, sat on my lap, and said, "Dad, kiss." And I gave her a kiss on the cheek, and she was like, "Oh, that hurts. Can you shave your mustache?" And I'm like, "Yeah, babe, I'll shave my mustache just for you." So if anyone's to blame here, it's not Easton, it's not my wife, it's my 4-year-old daughter, Juliet. So there you go.
Don't blame Juliet. She's got the right to not get scratched by her dad's mustache with a little nice kiss on the cheek. That's hilarious.
I was entering the stage where I probably had to get like I probably would have had to gone out and got like a little bit of like a grooming accessories, like some little scissors and stuff to like clean it up. And I honestly didn't want to do that either. So I'll take the blame for it. Yeah,
with my
pressure.
Dad beard right now, I definitely need some grooming accessories because I got nothing. I'm just kind of winging it. But yeah, I'm rocking a hat because that's just the type of day it is. And so not that often that I am, but that's okay. But all right, Ryan. Are you ready for a little trivia action? I've got the Daily Dozen pulled up, so I'll let you do the graphics side of this thing. But here we go, a little sports trivia to wrap things up. Shout out Wilson County Hyundai. Make them a part of your new car buying process. Go see them in Lebanon or online at wilsoncountyhyundai.com. They do a great job of finding you that right ride without costing you all that money because they're in Lebanon, not in downtown Nashville. So save money there with wilsoncountyhyundai.com. Ryan, are you ready for the graphic flip?
Yes, I'm ready for the graphic flip. Yes, I am ready.
I think, man, sometimes this doesn't work very well. Oh no. Browser can't capture your screen.
What does that mean?
What is going on?
Sounds like a StreamYard thing.
It is. This is not good. Do they change oh, here we go. Okay. Now we're in business. Okay. All right.
Got it.
I just had to wait for something to update, I guess. Okay. So how trivia works. If you have not played with us before, we see if we can beat Orlando's over under, which he has now set at 5.5 minutes. A lot of confidence in us, Ryan. That 5.5 minute mark. We start with the NFL and we go around the horn until we finish in the center with Celebrity Mashup. Here goes nothing. Okay, NFL. After 9 seasons in Arizona, Calais Campbell totaled 31.5 sacks for this AFC team.
Jaguars.
Is this Jaguars?
Jaguars,
Okay.
right?
I was going to think it was the
Jaguars?
Ravens, but books. Set during the Great Depression, what American author wrote the Pulitzer Prize winning novel, The Grapes of Wrath?
Oh,
I
no.
feel like the chat should know this.
Oh, no. I should know this. I was an English literature major in college.
This is you, dude.
Who wrote Grapes of Wrath?
Grapes of Wrath.
Oh, my gosh. Who wrote Grapes of Wrath? Gosh.
Somebody Grapes of Wrath. Steinbeck?
Steinbeck. John Steinbeck.
All right, television.
Okay,
Before a major role in the Penguin in 2024, Kristen Milotti had a role on the final 2 seasons of this CBS sitcom that ended in 2014. So what CBS sitcom ended in 2014?
It was How I Met Your Mother, right? Wasn't she in How I Met Your Mother? I think she was the mother.
I have no idea.
How I Met Your Mother, I think. I'm almost positive about that.
Okay, there we go.
There it is.
Movies. Set during a holiday, this 2009 remake of the 81 slasher film features a serial killer in mining gear. I have no idea.
Never heard of that. Don't know the premise of this movie at all.
During a holiday. My Bloody
Valentine. Someone said, let's go with that, I guess.
3D?
I don't know. No, Bloody Valentine. Someone says, okay.
You got it, yeah.
Right.
This English reggae band had #1 hits in 84 and 90 with their covers of the song Red, Red Wine and Can't Help Falling in Love. Reggae band. English reggae band. Like British reggae? UB40.
I don't know who they are.
Okay. Got it. All right. Chain restaurants. What major chicken chain has recently introduced the new chicken strip item known as the chicken dipper? Is this it's not Zaxby's, is it?
No.
Chicken chain. So
chicken chain. I'm an idiot.
Chicken.
Zaxby's or KFC?
Popeyes?
KFC maybe?
And says Popeyes.
Someone said Popeyes.
Raisin Canes, Popeyes. We're getting Popeyes.
Yeah.
Louisiana
Fest. Yeah.
All right. MLB. Before his untimely passing, Thurman Munson was a 7-time All-Star and MVP
Yankees.
while playing.
Yankees.
All right. We got it. So baseball went fast. Watch out, Orlando. NBA averaging over 15 points, 10 rebounds a game. This Bobcats player won.
Emeka Okafor.
UConn great.
Okafor.
Yep. We're about to smash this. All right, Here we go. Ooh, I know the.
Oh no!
Is that Katy Perry on the inside?
It could be Katy Perry on the inside. Yep, it could be. I think so.
Ooh, Ethan Hawke is totally.
Oh,
and that
someone said Reese Witherspoon.
I think.
Oh, it could be Reese. It could be Reese.
I think it is. Yeah. Boom.
There we go. All right. There we go.
How about that?
That was good.
Speed.
Thank you, Emeka Okafor. Here we go.
Hey, look at this board too.
It's not that easy.
That's a tough board.
Yeah, I never would have gotten the movie ever. I never would have.
How about this? We are 1 of 50 perfect.
Love it. There we go.
Bork says
everyone doubted us. Everyone doubted us. Orlando, we went 2 minutes under, brother. 2 minutes under. Look at that.
Oh man. Now I will say we did have some clutch chat help. Because
I'm still mad at myself that I didn't think of John Steinbeck. Like I literally have read The Grapes of Wrath, but like just an idiot. Absolutely.
Steinbeck was a big one from the chat.
Yep.
You were all over How I Met Your Mother.
That's my favorite show of all time. So yeah.
Oh, really? Nice.
I love How I Met Your Mother. Yeah.
Movies. We really needed that help on My Bloody Valentine. We were quick with UB40. Chain restaurants had Popeyes help. Ryan was all over Major League Baseball and NBA. We both slam dunked that thing. So very strong the crew today with trivia.
Well, I remember Emeka Okafor very vividly because that was like the first Charlotte Bobcats team, right? And Okafor was the first pick, and I remember he had a good rookie year that everyone's like, oh wait, they just suck, and that's why he's good, and now he's not that good anymore.
He's good because somebody has to score and get rebounds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys, that's it for us on this Wednesday. Buck Rising live tonight for A to Z Sports Prime Time. We'll be back tomorrow morning. We'll see if we can back up that trivia with another solid trivia on a Thursday. We'll catch you guys later on. Appreciate it as always. Thanks.